Hello everyone, today I would like to brief about air fryer. Okay, this is the scope of the air fryer, which is the first is introduction, component in air fryer, element in air fryer, their working principle, schematic diagram, circuit diagram, and lastly, which is a question and answer. Okay, I'm really curious about the air fryer. Wondering every so often, would my life be better if I had one? First thing first, what is an air fryer? An air fryer is actually a lot like a countertop convection oven. As you all know, air fryers use a circulation of hot air to cook food that would otherwise be submerged in oil. Generally, air fryer's cooking chamber radiates heat from a heating element near the food and a fan circulates hot air. Go to the component in an air fryer. The first is fryer. Fryer use air circulating technology to provide amazing frying result. Next is a frying basket. Actually, the air fryer basket is the main component of the air fryer, which is the basket base is the bottom of the fryer that holds the basket. It catches oil and crumbs that fall through the holes of the basket. The fryer basket attached to the base and actually holds the food. It has round hole or a mesh base, depending on the brand and model. Both the basket base and actually basket can be washed in the dishwasher for easy cleanup. Lastly is a container. The container stores all food residue released during frying. Let's continue to the next scope, which is the element in air fryer. First is temperature. An air fryer is a cooking appliance which cooks food with the help of the high flow of superheat air. When you switch on the air fryer, the temperature of the inside air goes up to 400 degrees, which flows around your food. That means you can cook crispier chips within an air fryer with 80% less fat quite quickly. Second is cooking chamber. The design of the air fryer is not so complex, which people usually contemplate. A heating element is located just over the cooking chamber the food is placed. The cooking chamber just looks similar to a big sized bowl having a lot of tiny holes in the bottom side. These holes help in getting the hot air from below. The container or the chamber can be entirely removed or placed back inside. All around the chamber, a double wall also was given. Number 3 is heater and fan. The third essential element is the heater as well as the electrical fan, which emit the heat inside the cooking compartment or chamber. After this, the air flows around and enters below the food. On the other hand, you will also find an air guide button of the air fryer which appears similar to the star of sorts. The fan located over the heater element. Lastly, timer and adjustable temperature. Nowadays, a maximum number of air fryers originate with a timer as well as the adjustable thermostat feeder so that you can know when your dish is cooked and ready to serve. Such type of element makes this appliance more useful for the people who have the high hectic schedule for the day. Next, we proceed about the working principle of air fryer. The first critical system in the working of an air fryer is the rapid air technology. With this technology, your food gets cooked with double speed as compared to the regular oven or frying pans. Actually, through this system, the heat is spread out from the cooking chamber that is situated quite close toward your food. It makes your food cook fast with full effectiveness. Similarly, an exhaust fan is also present which generates rapid hot air which moves inside the chamber of the air fryer. Without the loss of much energy, your food gets cooked from outside. For example, you can cook crispy chips in around 50 minutes in an air fryer, whereas the traditional oven needs at least half an hour for making chips crispier. The heat inside the appliance does not dry your food at all. The heat that originates from the topmost and the bottommost section makes your food cook rapidly at the right temperature. The next important part is the exhaust system, which plays a significant role in the working of the air fryer. As soon as your food is cooked, you can recognize that with the help of the smell of the food, the exhaust system of the air fryer filters out the extra air before making it release. It is the reason that you will never smell any odors inside the kitchen or your room. As soon as there is enough hot air inside the air fryer, the exhaust system starts working instantly. It finishes the steam and smoke inside the fryer before releasing into the outside air. The third is cooling system. A cooling fan over the motor of the air fryer given for controlling the inner temperature. The filter of the fryer allows the air to pass through them so that the internal part of the appliance can remain cool. It results in the proper overall cooling of the machine. As a result, the hot food can be served just after the process of stir frying is finished.
A new generation of cooking equipment. Let's see how it works. A heater element just above the cooking chamber radiates from a close range, directly to the food. Radiation heat penetrates deep under the food surface. A large fan above the heater pulls the air upwards through the cooking chamber, creating a strong vertical airflow. While passing the heater, the air is loaded with heat energy. The air is transported downwards through a double wall around the cooking chamber, with a minimum loss of flow and heat energy. The air is guided by a special starfish-like air guide at the bottom that distributes the heat evenly and directs the airflow in a vertical direction. The food itself helps to distribute the heat over the contents of the basket. Only the bottom of the basket is open to the air, so it has to pass over the food surface where it transfers the heat to the food. The heat reaches all parts of the food even when it's piled up. The combination of radiation from the top and convection from the bottom creates a heat transfer rate that is much higher than that of a convection oven. Simultaneous heating from both sides eliminates the need to turn the food during the cooking process. This mimics the effect and gives cooking results that come very close to that of a deep fryer. But now without the excessive use of oil or grease. Cooking air is internally recirculated to keep the heat inside. But when temperature rises, so does the internal pressure. Therefore, an air fryer also has an exhaust system. To control the internal pressure, an air fryer has a special exhaust feature. It takes out a small amount of air to create a small underpressure. This forces the steam and smoke to leave the cooking chamber only through the exhaust, where it's filtered before it's released in open air.
Do you know how the air fryer works? So, let me brief about the schematic diagram of air fryer. The top section of an air fryer holds a heating mechanism and fan. You place the food in a fryer style basket and when you turn it on, hot air rushes down and around the food. This rapid circulation makes the food crispy, much like deep frying but without the oil. Does the hot air coming out from the air fryer is dangerous? The hot coming out of the air fryer will not damage you or your home due to the excellent cooling system that gets started as soon as the process of heating begins. The exhaust system of the air fryer also controls the temperature as well as the inner pressure of the appliance. So you can say that it is one of the safest and secure kitchen appliances that you can use without any worry. With the invention of this amazing gadget, people can enjoy lots of fried food in a healthy manner. Let me brief about the circuit diagram, which is most likely like countertop oven. The circuit diagram of the air fryer as per shown boot around 5 voltage regulator, which is 7805, microcontroller, which is Ep.3, 412 relay, which is relay 1 through relay 4, 5 PMP transistor, which is BC557, 14 tactile switch, 116 x 2 line LCD, which is LCD 1, and a few discrete components. The circuit is powered with 230 volt alternate current. Transformer X1 reduce voltage to 12 volt. Diode 1 and diode 2 act as rectifier diode. Capacitor C1 is connected as a filter. The rectified filter and regulated DC voltage is fed to the power section of the circuit, and 5 volt is fed up to the control circuit via 7805. 1889C52 microcontroller running at a clock frequency of 12.0592 MHz is interfaced with 14 controlling switch, 16 times to LCD and 4 relays. Use Zener diode 1 through Zener diode 4 to connect 12 voltage relay through a PNP transistor to 5 voltage microcontroller. Diode 5 prevent the 12 voltage supply to the microcontroller when the door switch is open. Relay 1, Relay 2, Relay 3 and Relay 4 are connected to the microcontroller through 4 relay driver transistor 1, transistor 2, transistor 3 and transistor 4 respectively. Transistor 5 is used to drive the piezo buzzer. PNP transistors are used as active low output from the controller. The LCD one is connected at port 2. Port meter VR1 can be used to adjust the contrast of LCD. Diode 4 through diode 7 are protection diode for relay driver transistor. 8089C52 runs with a crystal frequency of 12.0592 MHz. That's all for the circuit diagram.